Sheffield Wednesday have parted company with manager XISCO Munoz with immediate effect. So much for having an early night. Yeah, I don't know, it seems a bit foggy in here. I've somehow got moisture in there. Maybe it'll dry out, who knows. It gives a dreamlike state to things, doesn't it? It probably takes wrinkles and crow's feet away. Crow's feet that have been brought on this season by watching Wednesday as they struggled 10 games without a win in the Championship. Munoz's position had become untenable. Look at me using big words there. Massive game against Huddersfield this weekend, and funnily enough I was about to start doing some prep for my preview video for Huddersfield this weekend, and I was actually looking at it. I've been on the Huddersfield forums this afternoon and this morning, and the feedback from a lot of their fans about the performances under Darren Moore aren't quite what the headline writers have been making it with the last minute equalising and this sort of a lot of them are very, very concerned. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when he first came to Sheffield Wednesday, there were a lot of tinkering going on all the time, different systems, different players, and a lot of the comments that Huddersfield fans have been talking about after this weekend's performances. He started the game with 6 defenders, 3 fullbacks, no recognised centre forward. So already I was like, this is a great chance for us to get that first 3 points. And that's before the Munoz sacking. Now Munoz has gone, I don't like to say it, I think those chances have just doubled by nearly 50%. Now obviously being Sheffield Wednesday, I think some of us would have probably been looking at potential managers after the first 5 games without a win. As it is, the process is now only just beginning for the new manager after Munoz has been sacked. So in the short term, Neil Thompson's going to take charge of the team. Completely sound thing to do. You've got to be positive when it's there, and that is a completely common sense decision. Neil Thompson's been there for years. He knows all the players. He knows their best positions. He already knows, and this is one of the key things that people always forget about in football. We can talk about how many crosses people put in or how many tackles people make. Neil Thompson knows the players, he knows the personalities, and in football I think we often get weighed down with stats and this sort of the human beings' personalities. So the fact he knows all these players and knows all the characters already, that gives me a massive confidence boost going into this weekend against Huddersfield. How long is he going to be there? Well, we don't know. The process of Wednesday appointing a manager usually takes 2 to 3 weeks, so that'd probably take us right up to the Rotherham game, I think. I know what we're going to be looking at. Well, the usual names have been thrown up that's been bandied about. Obviously Warnock, he's probably got the best reputation for saving teams in our position. Carlos has been getting mentioned. But I do wonder if Chansiri may just go back to the list of people who applied for the job last time. And the reason I say that is that when Munoz got the job, he actually came out and said, well, he wasn't the best candidate, but he gave the best interview. I'd love to know what he said in that interview, by the way, because having heard some of his press conferences, I've got no idea what it was. Maybe he was just very good with his PowerPoint presentation. And that's something else. Never trust people by how good they are at flanneling. Look at what they've actually done and achieved. Anyway, that's by the by now. I almost feel a bit sorry for Munoz because he looked completely lost in that last interview I saw with Rob Staton. He looked like a dead man walking. And if it hadn't been for the fact Chansiri had told us he weren't going to spend any extra money this season, I'd have believed he was going to get sacked as soon as I saw it. That's an interesting fact here. The $2 million a year. I'm not going to spend any more than that. He's just sacked a manager, so presumably he's going to have to pay him off. He's had to bite the bullet there a little bit, hasn't he, on what he said in his statement the other day. That's probably why you shouldn't release too many statements. Keep your powder dry, keep things to yourself. But he's done the right thing. He's had to pay the bloke off because he knows, as well as we know, that relegation to the 3rd division is an absolute nightmare scenario. Not just for Sheffield Wednesday, but for himself, because if he's putting $2 million in to cover the running costs, as he said he has, he knows another season in Division 3, which means we'll be making £7 million less a year on the TV money, takes that up to £9 million a year that he'd be having to put in. and he probably wants that less than we do. So he's had to bite the bullet, pull the trigger. Who we're going to get in? You all know my views on it. I don't care about his past. I don't care about jokes he's made in the past or banter he's had in the past. I'd have Warnock, because for me, as I said, XISCO's interviewed very well. I'm not bothered about people who's interviewing well. I'm on about looking at people. What have they done? What have they achieved? When you look at the clubs he's saved, there's nobody out there with a better record. So for me, I'd take him. I know that's not for every Wednesday fan. I know some can't get past his United supporting and managing them and whatever else. There's calls for Carlos in some areas. I can see that he's popular with a fan base. Relative success last time with the squad that we'd got. I think we should have actually gone up with that squad, but it's just me. And he'll be popular with the players. Obviously, with all the talk that came out after he'd left about the quite easy training sessions and whatever else, time off. That does actually bring me to something else I wanted to talk about in another video, but maybe I'll put it in here. I'll talk about it now. Apparently, we've heard from a relative of one of the players that the players have been in every day since XISCO took over training. Every day. I had a gaffer once at work. I've been on a job for about 7 months, and it was weighing everybody down. It was well over the time constraints, everything else. We're working miles away from home. We weren't seeing family. And our firm at the time had got a maintenance job somewhere in Sheffield. So one Sunday night, I packed my bag. I was all ready to go down Monday morning to work. Sunday evening, phone call, my gaffer. Don't pack a bag for tomorrow, son. Come down to office in the morning. You're having a week on maintenance job that we've got in Sheffield. Well, fine, okay. I didn't twig why. Well, a week later, I was back on the road and I was back to other shit job. But what he'd done is he'd realised everyone's flagging, and he went through the group and he gives all a week off. That's my money. You can't learn that on a course. Do you know what I mean? You can't get a degree in that. You just knew up here. Good man management. So maybe one of the best things a new manager can do is come in and let them have a couple of days off. Have a barbecue. Have a snooker competition. Got to get players relaxed, because the players look tense to me. You've got to get players relaxed. I've said this before in videos. Don't matter what you do in life, whether it's putting shelves up or out else, you make mistakes when you're tense. Got to be relaxed. So hopefully Neil Thompson can have a bit of instant impact with that, because the players will be comfortable with him, and then hopefully whoever we bring in after that can have a similar effect. Interestingly, in terms of continuity, Neil Thompson comes in, gets us that win against Huddersfield, gets the lads nice and relaxed, gets us that win against Huddersfield. New managers come in. If we get Colin in, you've got that continuity thread, because of course Neil Thompson played for Colin at Scarborough for about 3 or 4 years, so they already know each other. Continuity, smooth transition and over, and it saves all that time of 3 weeks. Then the new manager comes in and takes 3 or 4 weeks to get to know everybody. We need results straight away. The one person I'm hoping it isn't, and I'm hoping it's purely coincidental with the timing, is Mark Hughes. He's been sacked by Bradford today, and he keeps getting jobs, and I'm not entirely sure how when I look at his track record. So I do hope it's not him, if I'm being perfectly honest. But that is the key. It's got to be someone, for me, with a record of doing well in this division. Don't care who they are, don't care who they support, don't care who they've managed, played for, whatever else. Can they do a job in here, and have they proven that they can do a job here? Like I said, you know, you all know who my candidate is. But let me know who you want. Sensible suggestions, obviously, like not Pep, Klopp, all like that. You know what I mean? Is that Jones lad still out of work, who did a great job at Luton? The one thing I am hoping, other than not Mark Hughes, is that it's not another completely left field that we've never heard of. Our new manager, he's going to be on a rolling 1-year contract on 3rd Division wages. He's managed in Armenian 3rd Division where he had great success. He got a 7th place finish last season. Let's not go down that avenue again.